encore our next comic of the night? Hey, Quincy, tell me the next name on that. I forgot. Oh, give it up! All the way from Flint! I think it's Flint!
Yes.
Chris Reed!
Alright, so I don't understand this obsession with Chris Hemsworth. You know, the Marvel actor? I mean, he's decent looking, but he is not all that. I was actually thinking about him the other day while I was masturbating. I had a Thorgasm. Which makes sense, because in my fantasy, my ass was getting hammered. It was marvelous. That went from bad to worse, didn't it? Oh, fuck it. So here's a question. Have you ever been on hold for so long that you forget who you called?
Yes.
Man, I was on hold the other day like forever, right? Finally, the lady comes back on. She's like, I am so sorry about the wait. What's the appointment for? I said, well, I think I need a new prescription for my testosterone pills because I'm still having some trouble getting aroused. And when I do ejaculate, there's like barely anything coming out. She was like, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but what are we doing with the Jeep Patriot? Oops. Kind of embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, I'm a substitute teacher. That's my day job. I don't like my day. Don't clap for that. I don't like my day job. I do try to be positive though. Like every morning when I go to work, before I walk into the building, I always stop and I say, it's gonna be a great day somewhere. These kids I work with though, man, they're so disrespectful. They call me bro. I don't like it. It's not my name. It's annoying. So the other day I was like, you know what? I want y'all to stop calling me bro. They're like, well, what are we supposed to call you then? I said, you're supposed to call me what the other adults in the building call me. So now instead of one annoying name, I have several. Loser, dickhead, douchebag, Minuteman. I'm pretty sure that was the secretary. That one hurt. Now, most of the kids are pretty cool though, but they can say some weird stuff sometimes. Like I had this little boy come up to me, he was like, Mr. Reed, choose right or left. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, just pick one. I was like, I don't know, left. He was like, oh my God. Then he looks at the class, he's like, Mr. Reed chose left. They're all like, what? I'm like, what is going on here? He's like, Mr. Reed, right is heaven and left is hell. You chose left. I said, look, I chose left the moment I applied for this job. Now go sit down. And stop saying hell. What the hell's wrong with you? Then I had a little girl come up to me. She's like, Mr. Reed, is the Empire State Building the most important building? I said, no, it's not. She's like, well, then what is the most important building? I said, well, that all depends. Like, during times of war, the most important building would be the Pentagon. In times of peace, the most important building would be the United Nations. After the day like I've had today, the most important building is Murray's Liquor. She was only 7, but I wasn't going to bullshit her. So technology's out of control, man. They got an app for everything now, right? Like my wife just discovered this new health app. It shows you your entire medical history. Yeah, she was looking at mine the other day. She was like, oh my God, you lied to me. I said, about what? She's like, well, you said you never had an STD, but here it shows that you were treated for gonorrhea. I said, yeah, but I didn't have it for long. Like the moment I found out I had it, I gave it to someone else. That didn't help very much. Nah, but I'm glad to be married though, because that means I don't have to date dumb people anymore. Man, I dated this one chick, she was so dumb, she didn't understand how gas prices worked. Yeah, one day gas shot up to $4 a gallon. She was like, I don't understand why everyone's so mad about the gas prices. I mean, who cares if it's $4 a gallon? $20 is still $20. I was like, yeah, but the more it is per gallon, the less gas you get for the 20. Never mind. Oh, she was dumb. Then I dated this other chick. She called me up from a party one night. She's like, we're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I'm using my phone a friend. Do you have a minute? I was like, sure, what's up? She's like, all right, here's the question. Where was the Declaration of Independence signed? I said, are you serious? She was like, yeah, do you know? I said, well, of course I know. It was signed on the bottom. She was like, oh, duh. I can't believe I wasted my phone a friend on that. I'm sorry I bothered you. I was like, that's all right. It's what I'm here for. I think the dumbest person I ever dated, though, was the one who told me her feet had a headache. Yeah, I actually lived with this one. Yeah, she came home from work one night, sat down on the couch, kicked off her shoes. She was like, oh, I was walking all day. My feet have such a headache. I said, wait a minute. You mean you have a headache or your feet have a headache? She's like, I just said my feet. I was like, all right, well, technically, that would be considered a foot ache. She was like, oh, right, what am I supposed to say? My foot ache has a headache? Sounds stupid. So that's where that conversation stopped, because I knew I wasn't going to win an argument with her. So instead, I just started saying things that were just as stupid, right? I was like, oh, my shoulder has a sprained ankle. And, oh, I ate too many tacos. My stomach is lightheaded. I was hoping she'd see how dumb it sounded, but instead it actually backfired on me. I came home from work one night and she was like, hey, remember how you said your hemorrhoids have a stiff neck? Well, I made an appointment for you with the chiropractor. Oh, dumb. So yeah, I'm happy to be married because my wife is smart and she's spontaneous, which I appreciate. We were out together last weekend and I was feeling kind of horny, so I stepped up behind her and started whispering dirty things in her ear. She started rubbing her butt up against me, started touching herself. She was getting into it too, till I ripped a big fart. And then she's like, oh my God, it smells like something died. I said, well, we are at a funeral. Body's right there. All right, thanks for listening. My name's Chris Reed.
Yeah, you have to, because I don't have any memory on my phone.
Give it up again for Chris Reed!
I don't think so.
I gotta say, we got a few comics out from Flint tonight, so I'm sure that they're blessed to have some clean water.
Oh, shit.
Give it up for the next comic.